Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lachlan, and today we are going to go through my 2024 AFL ladder predictions. I'm going to go through the ladder from 18th to 1st, and we'll go through my medals towards the end. So if you do go ahead and enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and have a look at more videos, as the AFL season is a week away now. So let's get going, and hope you enjoy. Alright, so we are starting in 18th place on the ladder. So in 18th, I have the West Coast Eagles. Yeah, I don't see really any other teams that would fit the position. Other than the Eagles, obviously. After finishing there last year, they're just really lacking a lot of things, and just really don't think they're going to rise much. Their main weakness is the lack of experiences and factors of injuries last year. I know they don't have much injuries now, but it's just their ability to challenge teams and just really I don't see them rising up the ladder any positions. I don't see them improving much at all, to be honest, at this year. But during this rebuild stage of theirs, but right now I think really they should be putting plenty of games into the youth and really trying to assert their game plan going forward to the next couple of years. Who knows if Adam Simpson's going to stay their coach for long? Hopefully, because I think right now they're in a bad patch. I think the Simpsons are really still a decent coach, and if they can get a few things right going forward, they'll rise up eventually in the next couple of years. But other than the patch in 2023, the Eagles really didn't get close to being better than their opponents. Hopefully this year they'll be looking to change that by less large defeats, like 100-point stuff, less of that, and improving the quality of the games of footy, and hoping to get them off the bottom in the near future. So West Coast in 18th. In 17th, I've got North Melbourne. I could have put them higher, but I didn't really think that. While I think they'll improve in parts of the game, but really this year for North, I think they just need to, sort of like West Coast, develop the youth and work on their structure, work on their defense structure, forward structure, because they're pretty weak in the defense now. I think of losing Ben Mackay. Then they're drafting well North. Coleman McKercher, can't remember all of them, but they've been drafting really well the last couple of years. Just develop players, and hopefully the full season of Clark at the helm will help with stability and just really help them be able to maintain a good style of footy. And hopefully in the near future they'll be up and rising. In 16th, I have Richmond. I see them falling this year, Richmond. Reasons why: experienced players retiring. They really just need to switch to the youth now. When it's I don't want to say it, but I think the Tigers are generally going to start a rebuild from this point on. Towards the end of last season, they were just very sloppy and just didn't look into it. Didn't look like they were. The players didn't really look like they were into it. I don't know, but just from my perspective, it just looked like that the team just needed a whole reset. And just this year, I think will be just another down year, but a bit worse. Potentially a bigger rebuild needed. Hopefully not, because if the really transition quickly, and Adam Uze, hopefully he can get the players. Really just take that step that they need. But I mean, this year I think it's just going to be a slow one for Richmond, and hopefully build to hopefully rise in the next couple of years. In 15th, I have the Fremantle Dockers. The Dockers are going to have to rebuild. I just think, they had some success in 2022, but I felt they overachieved a little bit. Really, just especially after losing experience, they're gonna have to rebuild around the youth, and especially in the forward line with the loss of Lockie Schultz, which was arguably the best player up forward last year. Get more games in youth, build a culture where they can rise up positions and really get back into finals contention, I think, for the Dockers. After obviously overachieving, they'll probably just be down the bottom of the end ladder for the next 2 seasons at the least, I'd say. Hopefully they'll be on the rise in the next couple of years, though. In 14th, I have the Essendon Bombers. I have Essendon. I just don't see them improving. I see them. Well, I think they're around this exact same spot last year, so I don't see improving after a disappointing end to the last season. Gained some depth in parts, especially with Goldstein and Mackay from North Melbourne, and I just think some of their players they've drafted well. I wouldn't think it'd be bad draft year for them. Just don't think. I'm not sure, but got some good depth, good pillars, good key players. Just really need to work on their game. Really need to work on their stability and just their overall performance. And obviously, then they need to improve on the games against weaker sides. Just scraping wins against sides like West Coast. It just really isn't a good look for them. So I have Essendon 14th. In 13th, I've got the Western Bulldogs. Don't really know where they're at in terms of the ladder position. I just feel like this is about where I think I'd put them. After in between year last season where they missed finals after losing to West Coast in the dying rounds, I could have put them as low as 15th. I seriously could have put them as low as 15th in the bottom fours, but I didn't really want to do that because they've still got good amount of talent. Obviously, Mark Montepelli still in. He's going to be trying to get Brownlow, but not just that, trying to get some team success as well. But obviously, these more experienced players at the Dogs, they're just really going to have to try and help lift the team. And the way things are looking, the question of Bevo is Bevo the man to lead them forward is really the question. I worded that wrong, but I don't know my words there. But the way things are looking, is Bevo the right man to lead them forward? Is basically the question that is going to be asked of the Dogs this season. Hopefully we'll see an improvement of them in the next couple of years. Hopefully next year, maybe they'll rise back up into the 8. Because they're just dropping in and out the last couple of seasons. So, one season they'll be in the 8, next season they'll be out of the 8. I don't know where they're at. Dogs in 13th. In 12th, I've got the Geelong Cats. A second down year, really, in a row. Second down year in a row. The Cats really should just be looking to switch to the youth, I think. I don't know if they've already... I'd say they would have already switched to the youth, but really, a lot of old players, a lot of experienced premiership players leaving, just really should be just focusing on just building consistency, I think. Defensive structure is going to be key to them winning the close games. I think that they were losing and stuff. Like just to challenge certain teams, which I don't see them doing at least this year. So really going to be a bit of a switch year, bit of an in between year for the Cats. I think really just trying to really build their game style and hopefully rise up the ladder in the next couple of years. Yeah. So, alright, move to 11th now. So, in 11th, I have the Hawthorn Hawks. Hawthorn in 11th, after a season which they should have finished higher with how they were playing, the Hawks will look to aim for the 8, but I think for me, they'll look to the 8, but I think for me, they'll just finish outside of it. They should have a decent start. Relatively decent fixture, I think, for the Hawks. But then maybe just drop off towards the ends and really just lose their legs. And I mean, with decent players like Jack Inovan, Gunston, and all that, not just those inclusions, just all their key players they've already have at the club. Hawks will want to be more consistent than what they have. If they can just be consistent throughout the year, they might be able to build on something which they could then push into the 8th in the next year or two. But I think right now, I'll just have them in 11th. In 10th, I have St Kilda. For me, I don't think the Saints overachieved anything last year, because I know some people are saying that the Saints overachieved. But in terms of teams who might drop, I think the Saints come into the equation here. And you just have to question, is Ross Lyon going to be able to keep them consistent? And the fact that they struggled against sides like Essendon, North Melbourne, and West Coast, and how they also had a poor finish to the year by losing a final play on home territory. I mean, yeah, it's not really a good look for them. And I just really think that end of the year really says, is St Kilda ready to be a finals contention side? Now, I think, yes, they've got the players that they need. They've got the depth. If they can get the brand of footy that they want to play, I think they're going to really go far in September at certain years. But yeah, if the Saints can get a few key players back that they've had, because they haven't had the players they've lost to injuries, Tim Membry, Max King, Tim Membry, and a few others, I think. I just need to get the players back and be more consistent, and because they have the caliber to make the 8 and potentially do damage. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I have them in 10th for now, though. In 9th, I have the Gold Coast Suns. People are saying, is this the year? Will the Suns make the finals? Well, putting other teams in the equation, I think it'd probably be at least another year for them to finally make history and make the 8. But now having an experienced coach like Hardwick at the helm, they should be able to be more consistent this year and be in contention for finals. If they can make their home a fortress, they could easily pick up around 9 to 10 wins just from home games alone, which is massive, and that'll really help them push up the ladder. When the Suns play the brand that they want, they can do plenty of damage and challenge the best teams. Notably, the round 23 game last year, Gold Coast vs Carlton, the way they were challenging the Blues throughout the entire game, and it's a really close finish. obviously just narrowly losing. Suns really can challenge a good amount of teams, and they're even challenging teams. They bet Brisbane. They bet Brisbane. I think it was around 20. I think. They bet Brisbane. I think they were close to got to Collingwood sometimes. So yeah, they literally bet a team that was 4 points away from winning the premiership last season. So if that isn't an indication to how close they are of being a really damaging team, I don't know what is. Hopefully for them, they get the brand and they get the brand that they want to play and the game plan they want. Get some stability at the club with obviously the new coach. Just try and just play the footy that they want, and just hopefully the rest will come into the equation then, and then they can easily challenge for the 8s as soon as next year. And in the next few years, I mean, they could definitely challenge top 4. I have no doubt. Top 4 contention will definitely be on the cards in the next few years for the Suns. Alright, we move into the top 8 now. In 8th, I have Port Adelaide. After a decent season, the Power are really going to want to improve to be the best they can. After a decent season last year, the Power are really going to, I think, want to improve to be the best they can. Just to improve on where they finished last year, and just really try and contend for grand final spot, premiership, etc. But with the teams around them just improving, and questions around structure and whether Hinkley's the right man to take them further, and whether he's going to stay at the club, it's just some problems could arise, which I think would make them fall slightly, and I think this is where I'm just going to have them here. I had them just holding on to the 8th position over the Suns, so it'll be a challenge for them to see if they can stay consistent this season. Going to be a bit of an off year, I think, for them this year. They're going to be up there towards the start of the season, I think. The way they start the season is really going to say if they're going to be in the 8 by the end of the year still, because I think they're going to drop off towards the end of the year. So Port Adelaide in 8th, just scraping in, just staying in, because I have them just holding on to the 8th. So all right, in 7th I have Melbourne. After 2 years of straight sets, Melbourne is certainly set aside, and I have them sliding. So losing some key players, which also includes the recent retirement of Angus Brayshaw. I just think that Melbourne might have to start rebuilding. A lot of people have them dropping out of the 8. If they aren't careful, I think that could very well happen. And this year, I definitely think that they could drop as low as 12th, 13th, I think, if they're not careful. The way the culture is, Clayton Oliver not being there, their culture's not that good at the moment, so just hopefully all they need is just a little reset and come back stronger next year. But I, like many others, have them falling for the season. And look, if they don't fix their culture, fix their game style, not go out in straight sets, this could be a very interesting couple of years for Melbourne. So I've got them in 7th. In 6th, I have the Adelaide Crows. After just missing out on finals last year from a poor umpiring call, making them lose a game against Sydney in round 23, the Crows will want to make a statement that they should have been in finals from the beginning. The Crows are a side that has a great core and good players all around the ground. Making Adelaide Oval a fortress, they just need to improve their away capabilities, because they're winning a good amount of games, almost all their games, I think, at the Adelaide Oval. They just need to improve on their away capabilities, and if they do that, they can easily challenge for top 4 this year. I have no doubt. I'm quite bullish on the Crows this year, and I think that they have what it takes to contend, and if they can keep stability within the club, they will definitely challenge. I think they can definitely challenge for grand final berth. There's no doubt in that. Alright. In 5th, I have the GWS Giants. Giants will be wanting to aim higher after a brilliant finish last year. The fact that they were a point for being in the grand final, which if they had made it, they could have definitely won, by the way, is just insane. And they finished 7th last year, and they were like 1 point off from making a grand final, and they could have definitely won it if they were in it. So key players all around the ground, especially role players like Toby Green and others. This could definitely be the year that they push for the grand final. Not ruling it out, but yeah, this could definitely be a year that they push for the grand final. In 4th, I have the Blues. I have Carlton there. In 4th, I have Carlton. After a big second half of 2023 for the Blues, that is gone down in history. They're certainly aiming for more this year. Top 4 finish would mean that they would not only get a second chance, but give them a base to push to make the grand final. Only worry, I think, to start the year for Carlton would be down back. Without waiting for the first 6 rounds, perhaps, could be looking for the younger players to step up, along with key pillars like Newman, Marchbank, and Adam Sard. The midfield will be a key place to keep an eye on for 2024 to see if they can gel, and see if they can have good stoppage work and clearances from the centre bounce like last year. This year could, if they do that, this year could be even better for the Blues. And only way to see what happens is just hopefully the Blues can stay consistent. Hopefully Vossi can push them on. Really just make the team gel and just get some of those hurdles that we had last year. We can definitely push for a grand final if we had the right structure, right system, stability, which we do have right now at the club. Carlton in 4th. In 3rd, I have the Sydney Swans. Now, Sydney, with big inclusions over the off-season like Taylor Adams and Brodie Grundy, the Swans will look to take a huge leap to become a very strong side in 2024. If they can improve their consistency and really work to push the ladder, there will be a huge challenge at the season. With Callum Mills the sole leader this year, experienced players will look to help him to guide the youth and bring the Swans side to success. If they can make the SCG a fortress, obviously, with teams that are Melbourne, they can definitely make their own grounds a fortress and can really, for the Swans, I think they just need to improve the consistency. They could have a good year this year if they just did everything right, players wise, system wise, and just in general. So yeah, Swans in 3rd. In 2nd, I have the Brisbane Lions. After losing the grand final by 4 points to the Pies last year, the Lions will look to stay at their best and go even harder, pushing to continue the win streak at the Gabba while becoming more consistent away. Brisbane will look to take a step further in 2024 and potentially even win it. The Lions have a great depth all around, key players like Charlie Cameron, Lachie Neale, Cam Rayner, and Harris Andrews. They have the stability to go for a premiership and should have an even higher chance at winning it if they make it a second time. Brisbane, I really think that if they go for it again, if they make it, I think they definitely have a huge chance in winning it because been there, done it last year, and really going to be interesting to see how they go. In 1st, I have, of course, the last team left, Collingwood. Reigning premiers will obviously look to say their best once again and attempt to go back-to-back in 2024. The Pies have a massive, passionate fan base, which will be behind them once again every step of the way this year. Craig McRae will look to make sure that the Pies don't have any sort of hangover like how Geelong did, and really make the team gel to go again this season. This time around, the Pies will be the benchmark team, and many teams will look to do what they have done in the past 2 years. Hopefully, with the additions to the team and plenty of key role players and stars alike, the Pies will be another team to not only challenge for the premiership, but go back-to-back in 2024. Alright, that is my ladder predictions. So, in 18th, got West Coast. In 17th, North Melbourne. 16th, Richmond. 15th, Fremantle. 14th, Essendon. 13th, Western Bulldogs. 12th, Geelong. 11th, Hawthorn. 10th, St Kilda. 9th, Gold Coast. 8th, Port Adelaide. 7th, Melbourne. 6th, Adelaide. 5th, GWS. 4th, Carlton. 3rd, Sydney. 2nd, Brisbane. And 1st, Collingwood. We will now go ahead and go into the medals and award predictions. These are my predictions only for the whole video. I should have made this kind of at the start, but these are my predictions. If you want to put your predictions below in the comments, you can. So yeah, don't get mad at me for any of the predictions if I didn't put your team up or any of that. So in my predictions, anything could happen, and these are obviously going to be wrong. There's going to be quite a few calls, I think, here that I've made that are going to be wrong, especially in these medal predictions. So, for the Brownlow, I have Errol Gordon winning the Brownlow. For the Sydney Swans, Errol Gordon from the Sydney Swans. I think Errol Gordon's going to go one step further. He was a really good player, I think, last season. I just think the way Sydney, if what I say is true and Sydney are going to be on the rise, finish in the top 4, I really think Errol Gordon will be a good key pillar in that, and play a massive role in finals and just a general whole season. So yeah, I have him for the Brownlow. For the Coleman, interesting one. I don't know if I do usually go this, and I don't know how many people would go this, but I've gone on a tie. I couldn't really decide. I wanted both of them, but I didn't want to put one of them, not put the other. So I've gone on a tie. Jeremy Cameron and Nick Larkey. Now, give you the reasoning. Jeremy Cameron, good all-around player for Geelong. I think with likes of Tom Hawkins and that just taking a step back. Now, Tom Hawkins, it could be between Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins here. They're both, I think, they should both be still going to be challenging for the Coleman. I just think Jeremy Cameron will take the lead and just, really just get a few more goals than what Tom Hawkins, I think, will do. And Nick Larkey, second last season in the Coleman. Doing it for a side like North Melbourne, I just think Nick Larkey could go to another level, and that is just crazy to think about. So, yeah, I have a tie there. Alright, so yeah, Jeremy Cameron and Nick Larkey as a tie for the Coleman. For my Rising Star prediction, I've gone in an interesting one here. I didn't really want to go with Harley Reid, the basic option. I think a lot of people just don't think he's going to be challenging a lot. Sort of like how Jason Horne-Francis in 2021 didn't, or 2022, I can't remember what it was now. I think it was 2022, but yeah. Yeah, like how he didn't have a great first season at North Melbourne. And so, I'm not going to go Harley Reid. It's the basic option, but I'm not going to do that. This time, I'm thinking someone like a Jed Walter. So that's who I went with. Jed Walter for the Gold Coast Suns. Look, I don't know too much about him, but I just think if Gold Coast really improve as much as they are, really going to improve as much as I think they will this season, I think Jed Walton might be a good player, and really be the rising star, I think, of the year, and that's what I have him as, rising star. Then we'll go here for my biggest improver. This is how I usually do it. I usually have Brownlow, Coleman, rising star, biggest improver, biggest slider. Then I go through the grand final and the premiers. So that's how it's going to be for ages now. I think that's how I'm going to keep doing it. So my biggest improver, got the Gold Coast Suns. Obviously, last year finished in 16th. No, 15th it was. Finished in 15th. And I have them going up to 9th. So basically, what biggest improver, biggest slider is who I have jumping up the ladder the highest and dropping and sliding the highest. Sliding the most. Jumping up the highest and sliding the most. Each season. So depends, but really who I think is gonna jump up high. So it's all based on ladder prediction on the ladder that I have. So yeah, obviously my biggest improver is Gold Coast. For 15th to 9th, it's a no-brainer. Damien Hardwick should be able to take him up a step. Not going to be finals this season for Gold Coast, but I think next year, I think they're definitely going to be in contention for finals, and I think they probably would make finals. In terms of biggest slider, not that they were high or anything in 2023, but it's Richmond. It is going to be Richmond. They finished I think it was 12th or 13th for last year, but I think the drop down to 16th is more massive than the number. It just, you wouldn't think the Richmond that only 4 years ago won a premiership, you wouldn't think that with how much experience they have, with the big fan base they had, you wouldn't think they'd drop down. But I don't think they're going to be that high this year. Yeah, obviously, with what I was saying before. So yeah, biggest improver Gold Coast, biggest side of Richmond. All right, now we are getting into our grand final predictions and my premiers. So yeah, for the final order predictions today, we're going to start up with my grand final prediction. The grand final, I think, is going to be between the Adelaide Crows and Collingwood. Adelaide Crows and Collingwood. So it's going to be Collingwood versus Adelaide for the grand final. Adelaide, I have them in 6th, so I think they're going to come up from 6th and win it. Not win it. They're not going to win it. Yeah. Adelaide, so I have Adelaide in 6th. I think they'll make their way through the finals, and make their way to the grand final, and come up against a strong Collingwood side who wants to go back to back. Yeah. Alright. So here's the prediction everyone I think has been waiting for. My premiers. Tough call for me to make, because I don't like this team. But based off the recent success, I don't see them really dropping off. I think they're going to be stronger, as strong as they were last season. And I have Collingwood as my premiers. So yeah, I just think Collingwood is going to have the grit to go and do it again. And I mean, plenty of teams going to challenge the season. It's going to be a year of upsets, big stories, and plenty more. But I just think Collingwood will go at it, I think, for one more year at least. So, yeah. So that means Adelaide are the runners up. I don't think it's going to be a massive defeat at all. I think it's going to be quite close. Not as close as the Collingwood vs Brisbane game, but yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what ends up happening, but I think I'm going to give a prediction on the spot right here. Collingwood by... You know what? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave you hanging for however many months, 6 months, however it be, and I'll give you my prediction when it is. No, because then it'll be a different round. Yeah. I'm not going to give a prediction. All I'm going to say is Collingwood win the premiership by anywhere between 1 and 30 points. It's going to be around that close. In between 1 and 30 points. Norman Smith, I'm going to go with Billy Frampton. I like the look of him. I think he'll be playing a key role. Just a key role player. Like the look of him at Adelaide. So it's going to be interesting. Collingwood versus Adelaide Grand Final, and he wins to Norman Smith. If he does, that'd be interesting, to say the least. But nah, I don't think Billy Frampton it was Bobby Hill last year, so going for someone out there. I don't want to go for Nick Dacos or Scott Pendlebury. I don't want to go for anyone like that. So yeah, Billy Frampton to be the Norm Smith, and Collingwood to be premiers. Alright, so I think if we've gone over every single thing I possibly could, that is my 2024 AFL predictions done and dusted. So, yeah. We'll go over all my predictions right now. And so in 18th, I had West Coast. 17th, I had North Melbourne. 16th, I had Richmond. 15th, Freo. 14th, Essendon. 13th, the Dogs. 12th, Geelong. 11th, Hawthorn. 10th, St Kilda. 9th, Gold Coast. 8th, Port. 7th, Melbourne. 6th, Adelaide. 5th, GWS. 4th, Carlton. 3rd, Sydney. 2nd, Brisbane. Collingwood 1st. And then I have Brownlow, Errol Gordon. Coleman, a tie between Jeremy Cameron and Nick Larkey. Rising Star, Jed Walter. Biggest improver, Gold Coast. Biggest slider, Richmond. Runner-up in the grand final, Adelaide. Norm Smith, Billy Frampton. And my premiers are Collingwood. So, there you have it. If you did go and enjoy this video, guys, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If this is the first video you're watching of me, hope you enjoyed. I know it's a bit of a longer video than what I usually do, but I wanted to put all my thoughts into this video. Just a huge round, a whole round of predictions, and just really give my thoughts on what I think this season's going to be, because I didn't get to do a full style video like this last season. Can't remember exactly why it was, but I didn't do full style videos for the predictions last season. So, yeah. It's taken a bit longer than I would have liked, but approaching the 40-minute mark. But, yeah, without further ado, thank you so much for watching. If you did go and enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, and, yeah, keep updated for all my videos coming up now and in the past. So, yeah, AFL is 1 week away. We are 1 week away from the AFL season. So, yeah, if you did enjoy, leave a like, or what I said. I already said that. I'm not going to say it again. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you next time. Peace out. But please don't stay the night.